Welcome back to Psyche Truth, everybody. My name is Abby and I'm here to do a massage video for you today. We're going to work on the forearm and address any wrist pain, tennis elbow, things like that. So let's go ahead and get started. So today we're getting into the forearm, working on any wrist pain, elbow pain, elbow tension. You might hear some snap, crackles, and pops. There are a lot of bones in the hands. And with all the muscle tension and use of these hands, those bones can get a bit disorganized. I particularly love the meaty portion of the thumb here. This can be a huge culprit of headaches. I do advise you to be gentle if you're working with anybody who's pregnant, expecting a child. This is a pressure point that should be avoided. But if you have tension in your neck and shoulders, any sinus headaches, sometimes that pressure point can really help relieve pain. So a huge culprit of tension, not only in the forearms, but also up in the neck and shoulders, are these flexors right here. I like to use my elbow because they do get to be that dense. But I am aiming right in between the bones. And if you're doing this, you'll feel what I'm talking about. It's a muscular mountain in between these two landmarks. And it can create a lot of tension, a lot of referral pain. I come in and warm the area up a little bit more. Alternatively, I love this spot too. Right underneath the sharp edge of her forearm, there is a muscle. And these extensors can get really dense and kind of like thick. I like to get in there. I don't think we realize how much tension we hold in our forearms. And because of all that tension, this elbow, which is very, very weird joint, a lot like the knee, limited in the directions and ways it moves. So when there's tension in the forearm, or shortness, or inaccessibility, the elbow really takes a hit. These muscles here are meant to help you raise your hand, right? Flex. So there is a connection between the tension here and your ability and the tension in your hands. So I like to hit both spots at the same time, remind the brain that both of these areas are connected. They work together and they overwork together as well. I'm just gonna hold on to her bicep right now for stability because it's trying to tighten up on me. You gotta be careful. There's a cluster of nerves right here in the back of the elbow. You don't want to press on them too much. They kind of have that funny bone feeling. It's not pleasant. But I'm using the shortness and the tension in her bicep and pressure to help me try and externally rotate this forearm a little bit. It is a little medially rotated, which means it turns in towards her. Get around the ulnar. And the radius a little bit more efficiently. Still pretty tight right here. This is a complex area. It's got a ligament that goes right across the forearm and it can get really dense in there. Now I'm gonna mash it out just a little bit more. Broader surface, a little dense. Note that there's a little less tension in the forearm. We can get back to the fingers and the thumbs. Similarly to the skull, the hands and the feet, they're all kind of like melty experiences. In massage school, they used to tell us, if you massage their hands and feet, they will never forget you. In truth, it's because the hands and the feet hold a map of your nerve endings in your brain. So it's almost like your brain is right there in your hand and you have access to communicating to it, waking it up, warming it up. It has so much feeling. So I encourage everyone to get a hand massage. Remember, I said that these muscles are here for flexing. So sometimes it's nice to pin those flexors down and do the motion for them. Ooh, bit of tension in here. Not uncommon. As you get closer to the elbow, the tissue should get denser. And right now I'm working a few adhesions. But adhesions in this area of the forearm, right underneath the elbow, can impinge on nerves. In fact, a lot of the time we have people who have pain right out here on the ulnar, all the way down. And they'll get it in their pinky. And really the trigger point for that is right up here in the elbow. And there's muscle kind of attachment. Oof, it feels very good to get in there, but it will help relieve some of that nerve pain down and in the pinky and in the ulnar. That's why just like I like to grab the inside of her forearm and grab this bone that leads all the way to the thumb. It has very dense tissue around it. You can also grab the other side and have a whole nother sensation and relief. I'd like to take a minute to shout out to our patrons, Amber, Kieran Martin, and Alice Lang. Give her some palpation. And even come in and get the other fingers as well. In between each knuckle bone. Each metacarpal. There are these meaty spots in between the bones you can find. And we really don't understand how much our hands work for us. Sometimes it's nice to grab what I consider the center of the palm, but it's really at the bottom. And it's right underneath in the hand, but it comes right in the center of this area. This is where a lot of those little bones live. So when you can grasp this and kind of pinpoint that pressure point, you can make a lot of changes in the connection of fascia and the way that you engage with that hand, the muscles you use to articulate the wrist and the hand. It opens up how you can affect the forearm. She's getting more mobility in her wrist. It feels much more balanced. Still, you're usually working a twist one way or the other. It is a complicated joint to glide and spiral like that. So any chance you get to pin down a muscle and take it through that spiral a little bit should create relief. It's dynamic movement that keeps these muscles individuated and keeps the adhesions minimal. When the muscles do the same movements every day, they start to clump together out of repetition, and then they glue together, and then we get what we call knots, which is really parts in which different muscles have kind of glued and stuck due to necessity. I do like to do holds on the elbow to create some safety. Roll in from the elbow, roll out. See where that mobility is able to go. And see where you can find some tension. She's got a lot of tension right in here. This can lead to trap and shoulder pain. Tension in the forearm unaddressed can shorten your shoulders, cause them to reach up high to your ears. If you want to be able to relax your shoulders, you have to be able to extend and articulate your wrists and your hands. They were meant for the most movement. If they aren't moving, then you have to ask the elbow joint or the shoulder joint to overmove, to compensate for the movement that the hands aren't getting to. These shoulder joints and elbow joints are not made to be that mobile in that way. So their reaction will be to hold, to tighten, to freeze, and to keep you safe. And now nothing is moving the way it needs to. So get massages, stretch your hands, use them in different ways. Variety is key. And bring vitality back to your arms and forearms. All right, and that concludes our massage. I want to thank you for joining me on this video today. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, please join our Patreon. We'd love to see you there. I will see you next week.
Join us for 14 and 30-day programs, hour-long classes, and much more on our yoga app, Yoga Plus by Psyche Truth. It's free to download and features a variety of wellness content, including yoga, fitness, Pilates, guided meditations, and interviews with dozens of wellness experts.